Feel good. Today's Sunny 95.
Welcome to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the show that brings you man-on-the-street interviews, celebrity guests, groundbreaking research, and heartwarming stories about the reasons we smile. Our show is also known as everything you've always wanted to know about dentistry, but were too numb to ask. Hello, I'm General Dentist Dr. Kvitko, and thank you for joining me today.
The following views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of this station, its staff, management, or parent company. To hear a replay of this show or one of the great shows that previously aired, log on to thereasonswesmile.com or iTunes, keyword Dr. Kvitko or The Reasons We Smile. Listeners should not use Dr. Kvitko's comments and advice in place of an actual dental exam.
Brighten your life with a smile that shows the professional touch of Dr. Kvitko.
Time now for The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Call 459-9769 to discuss your dental issues. Now, here's your host, Dr. Kvitko.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Reasons We Smile. I'm Dr. Kvitko. Thank you so much for joining me. It's going to be a beautiful day. I hope you have a wonderful day today. This is show number 602, and the title is, I'm bringing you the sounds of a dental office. So, as it turns out, I've done a lot of shows, 601 to be exact, and I've never talked about all of those sounds that you find at a dental office. So we're going to have a little fun with this. Before we get started, though, let me remind you, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Dr. Kvitko, and if you'd please go to my office Facebook page and like us, that would be awesome. Also, all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com, and we're streaming live on Facebook. Okay, which is Dr. Kvitko and Associates, by the way. Okay, so like I said, we're going to have a little bit of fun with the sounds of a dental office. I believe they've changed over the decades and maybe even centuries. But if you weren't there then, you wouldn't know the difference. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to play a sound, give you a few seconds to see if you know what it is, and then I'm going to explain it. All right, so, and in about 10 minutes, you'll have a chance to win free flowers from DeSantis Florist. They'll be delivered to your place of business this Tuesday afternoon. If you want to pre-program the number into your phone, it is 614-459-9769, 614-459-9769. Don't call now, but go ahead and pre-program that number so you'll have a chance to win those flowers. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the first sound. Okay, what do you think? Any ideas? Have any of you heard that sound before? Let's listen to it again. Does that sound like an extraction or something? No. Okay, so that is the air compressor. One of the first things we do in the morning is turn on the air compressor. And the sound you hear of the air is traveling through the lines because all of our instruments, all of our drills are air-driven. And the air compressors that we use have to have a special dryer on them because all of the air that we spray on teeth has to be perfectly dry. Can't have any moisture in it. So we couldn't just go buy one, at the hardware store or at the home improvement store and use it because it wouldn't work. Because when we prepare your tooth, we put a conditioning gel on the tooth, for example, prior to doing a filling. Then we rinse it off, and then we have to dry it. And if you don't have that perfectly dried air, you get little bits of oil or liquid on there, the fillings won't stick. Okay, it won't last. All right. So now these are not in any specific order, although we're going in the order that we've created. So the order may not make a lot of sense because on one hand, the air compressor sound was one of the first things we do in the day, but they're not necessarily in order. So, okay, let's go with sound number 2. All right, you've all heard that one. It's a little hard. I think my producer thinks he knows what that one is. That's our air syringe. So that's the way we're spraying spraying air on your tooth. Remember I said you have to dry it? So we're going to spray it with that. We do that a lot. It's amazing. You would think, it's 2019, and you would think we would now have materials and products that we could use in a wet field, a field that had a little bit of saliva on it. But we can't. We can't do anything in a wet field. Everything has to be dry. And so that's the way we get it dry. All right, now let's go to sound number 3. And I did it several times so you would know. And I don't know if these sounds are sounding real to you because, you're sitting in the chair and we're doing it to you, and I was recording them separate. But anyway, that is air and water syringe. So it's the same air syringe with water mixed. And so we create a spray. That's how you create a spray, by the way, is you have air, you mix a little water, and it comes out like a mist. And so rather than drowning a person with a water jet, or just plain like turning on the faucet, when we mix it with air, it creates a spray, and it's not as easy to get down your throat and to get maybe get a little bit of water down the wrong pipe and get some into your airway. So that was the air and water syringe, and that was our third sound. Okay, now you have to listen close to this next one. I might have to repeat it, but let's do this next one. What's this one? Number 4. You hear how quiet that is? Yeah, what do you think that is? Okay. Well, before I numb a person, I use a topical anesthetic. It's called Lidocaine. It comes in a little bottle about the size of a small, I guess, vitamin bottle, but it has a nozzle on it, and I spray it on a person's gums right before I give you the needle. So I want to numb the area that I'm going to numb so that you don't feel the needle as much. And of course, I've mentioned before, I use a tiny little needle, a 30 gauge needle, first in the area. So first we do the topical anesthetic. In our case, it's called Lidocaine. Now some dentists use a gel, so there wouldn't be a sound. But I use the spray. I like the spray because I feel like it covers the area better. And even, a little bit drips on your tongue, and that gives you the confidence that it's working. And so we spray that on, and then I use a tiny little needle called a 30 gauge short. Do that on purpose. It's so small, I don't even know how they get the hole inside there. I really don't. I'd love to go to the factory someday if somebody could hook me up. But we put anesthetic in using that tiny little needle. And then we go to the regular needle. So I met a dentist Friday who actually was shadowing me, and I said, now, do you use this 30 gauge short? And he goes, I don't think so. I said, you just use the yellow one? And he said, yeah. Now he works for an office, like for a company, and maybe they don't stock the little ones. But I suggested him he might want to get them because it's better for the patient. They don't feel it as much. But that real soft spraying sound was the topical anesthetic going in. Okay, this next sound is our sound number 5, and it is this. Okay, that I think everybody knows. That's an EKG machine. And so I've mentioned many times how we do intravenous sedation in the office, and part of that is making sure we are properly monitoring the person's vitals. So there's a blood pressure cuff that's attached to that machine, there's an oxygen sensor that's attached to that machine, and then we have the paddles that are on each of the wrists. We don't have the ability to do the 5 lead on a person's chest in a dental office setting. So we have a little plastic, almost like a big chip clip, except doesn't squeeze very hard, and it squeezes onto each wrist, and it has a little metal plate that sends the electric current to the machine and tells us and gives us the sine wave of a person's heartbeat. And so you might have noticed there were some oddball sounds. It wasn't just beep, 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 beep. You heard some other tones. Well, as I was recording this sound, I just had myself hooked up and I didn't have the oxygen sensor on. So one of those beeps was saying, hey, we're not getting a reading on the oxygen. Another would be if you move, because we are doing wrists instead of the chest, if I move my arm, it gets all confused and it gives me some of those odd beeps. And so for those medical professionals who were listening to that, we weren't killing the patient. The patient was fine. It was me. And I was a little concerned about that. Somebody's going to call up and say, hey, that last patient he was working on was having some kind of distress. Well, not true. Okay. So anyway, that was the EKG monitor. All right, this next one, our sound number 6 is... All right, everybody just got goosebumps, right? Because that's the sound that everybody relates dental care to, and that is what we call the high-speed handpiece. That's what we call it. Some people call it the dental drill, but in dentistry we refer to it as the high-speed handpiece. And to be honest, although that gives people the willies, that is one of the biggest innovations in dentistry in a long time. Now, it's been around since the late 60s, 70s. But, man, before that, we had to grind on teeth with that slow-moving drill with grinding stones, literally. You know, that handpiece rotates at 430,000 RPM, revolutions per minute. When we touch it to your tooth, it slows down to 125,000 revolutions per minute. But think about that. 125,000 times that thing is spinning every minute. And so why is that good? Because it can take away the tooth structure so much faster and so much kinder. There's no vibration, there's no resistance. The sound, honestly, is actually, in my case, I believe it's better. I've had dental work, and I don't like that grinding of that slower drill in my mouth. It's just, my whole head vibrates, you know. It sounds like it sounds like somebody's grinding some auto part in my head, you know. So, but anyway, that was the high-speed handpiece, and then, but along with that comes the need for, because we're cutting on tooth, and that would cause heat in the tooth. Along with that, then there's a water spray that comes out of that, which is a lot of what you heard there. The water was kind of overpowering the high-pitched whine of the dental drill, of the dental high-speed handpiece. But anyway, it's quite an innovation. We should all be happy that we have it. And by the way, if we're using our topical anesthetic and our local anesthetic and we're getting you numb, it doesn't really matter what the sounds are, right? Although we can't numb you against vibrations, which is why I like that one better, because you don't feel any vibrations. And if you're numb, you don't even know what I'm doing. You just hear it. Okay, so looking at the clock, it looks like it's time for us to do Dr. Kvitko's question of the day, like I'd mentioned earlier we would. And so this is going to be, guess what? An audio Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. Okay. Before we do the contest, though, we'd like you to listen to this.
This station will not be held liable for any contesting during The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Participation in the contest allows Dr. Kvitko to record and broadcast your name and call. One winner per household. Prizes are non-transferable, cannot be substituted, and are subject to taxes and fees. This station cannot be responsible for the inability to enter the contest, whether due to equipment malfunction or telephone difficulties. All decisions of Dr. Kvitko concerning this contest or eligibility are final.
And now it's time for Dr. Kvitko's question of the day.
All right. Which of the following sounds are sounds you typically find at a dental office? Is it A? Is it B? Or is it C? Or is it D, which would be A and B above? All right? All right, the winner's going to receive free flowers from DeSantis Florist. The number to call, 614-459-9769. That's 614-459-9769. So go ahead and call now.
You won't believe it though. I wanna hear your mind. And there's nothing else in the world tonight. She said, people don't take the time. Hey, people don't take the time.
Hi, I'm Keith Carlos, winner of America's Next Top Model and star of Chocolate City 2. Look for my smile on the big screen this summer, courtesy of Dr. Kvitko. Stay tuned to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of the Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. Did you know that you no longer need to visit several different dental professionals to get more complete dental care? We handle everything from cleanings and orthodontics to restoration, implants, and smile makeovers, all in my office. Get the most advanced technology and procedures available today. It's more complete dentistry.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
Dr. Kvitko! Let's go!
Hi, I'm Johanna, and I've been a dental patient at Dr. Kvitko and Associates for over 10 years. I would really recommend Dr. Kvitko for your family's dental care. They're friendly. They're always there to help me. I feel like family when I walk in the door. It's clean, it's comfortable. Even if I have to bring my kids, they have a great playroom for them. I know when I'm with Dr. Kvitko, they are taking that extra time to make sure that I'm going to be the healthiest I can be. They've been great. I love them.
Call Dr. Kvitko and Associates today, 614-262-9588.
Hi, this is Richard Simmons. Dr. Kvitko's here, and he's going to help you with all of your problems. Are your teeth yellow? He can fix that. Are you missing a tooth? He can put a new one in. How is that?
That's very good. Thank you, Richard. Okay, we're back. We're doing Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. We have Hemen on the line. How are you, Hemen?
Yes.
Thank you for calling. Do you have the answer to Dr. Kvitko's question of the day?
Yep, the answer is D.
Awesome, awesome. I was afraid we'd have a smart aleck that was going to pick C. But that's not typical. Hemen, what do you do for a living?
I work as a pharmacist.
Okay, awesome. So you're in the medical field too.
I am.
Oh, pharmacists are pretty smart people, folks. They are, first of all, they're doctors, and we rely on them a lot. So appreciate what you do, Hemen.
Thank you.
All right, stay on the line, though. We have to get the address where to send those flowers. For those of you that didn't win today, call back next week, okay? All right, if you're just joining us, I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is episode number 602 of The Reasons We Smile, and we are doing the sounds of the dental office. We've brought you 6 of them so far, and so let's listen to number 7. Okay, what the heck is that? Now, you heard 2 sounds. You heard, let's do it again. You hear that beeping sound? That's part of the reason that this sound is in here. And then the other sound, we'll get to the other sound later in another sound bite. But that beeping sound is telling me that my implant drill is in reverse. So when I'm placing an implant, and I've gone through all of the series of drills, and I have it to the right length, and I'm happy with everything so far, and now it's time to thread the bone. Think of it as drilling and tapping. We don't like to call it tapping because that sounds like we're drilling in metal. But it is, in a way, and so it's called a thread former. And so we take this thing that looks like a tap, and we slowly, at 25 RPM, we spin it down into the hole that we've just made, that's through the gum and into the bone. And we'll go down, 7, 9, 11, 13, 16 millimeters, depending on how deep this implant is going. And that's determined by either where the sinus is, if it's an upper, or where the nerve is, if it's a lower. Okay? And so when you put that in, it's threaded now. So you can't just yank it out. It won't come. It's like putting a screw in. And so we have to slowly spin it out. And that beeping sound is my sign that my drill is going in reverse as I need it to. If it were beeping when I was trying to drill, that would be my warning sign. You're going backwards, dummy. So that's what that's there for. All right. Now, the next sound is our sound number 8, and that is also, go ahead and play that, please. Okay, so in this one, you're hearing a similar sound, but you don't hear the beep. So what the heck is that? All right, that sound is the pump on the implant drill. It is expressing saline out of a bag that's hanging on a little hook, and it's pushing it through a tubing that then is going to irrigate the area where I'm doing the implant, preparing the tooth, or rather the mouth for the implant. So whenever I'm drilling into the bone, it has to be bathed with saline to keep the heat down. And that's the pump sound. It's an interesting sound. It's like this little thing that spins and it squeezes the rubber tubing and expresses the saline down into a little nozzle by the end of the handpiece where the drill is. Okay, so that's I don't know. Unless your dentist does implants, you probably won't hear that sound. Or if you get an implant, I guess it would be the same thing whether you go to an oral surgeon or periodontist or endodontist. So, but we do that in my office, and that's the sound. So if you ever have an implant at my office, that's what you'll hear. Okay, now we're going to go to number 9. What is number 9? Okay, you heard the one sound already, but what's the other thing you're hearing? Let's do that one more time, please. By the way, I'm making my producer work today, but at least he won't be bored for this half hour. Okay, that's the actual implant drill. Can we do that one more time because it's short? So that steady sound, the one that's not modulating, is the actual drill turning. Okay, so in your mouth, you would probably hear that, and then behind your head you would hear the pump. So you mean that pump was in the background there, and then you also heard the spinning drill. And you know what? I think it's kind of cool that, we're always afraid of the unknown. And I really think that hearing some of these sounds in advance might make you a little less nervous when you actually do come in and have one of these procedures. Okay, but this one's somewhat related, or could be, so let's go to sound number 10. Anybody know? Anybody know? It sounds like air, right? But we already did the air syringe. Didn't sound like that. Didn't sound like the air compressor. That was a little different sound. This is the sound that you hear when you say to us, I want nitrous oxide, I want laughing gas. And so the first thing I have to do is fill the bag, that rubber bag that's going to be behind your head, with oxygen. Because when you breathe in, when you inhale into that nose piece, you have to have a reservoir of air and nitrous oxide to breathe in. Otherwise, you're just breathing against like a closed rubber bag, and it's like you can't breathe because there's no air in there. So we start off by filling the bag with oxygen, and then we titrate in the nitrous oxide gas, and that keeps you comfortable maybe while you're having one of those implants, right? That's why I almost gave a hint and said they're related, but I was afraid that would help you understand what the sound was before you had a chance to guess. Okay, I'm looking at the clock, and it looks like it's time for us to go to a break, but when you come back, we have 11 more. We're not going to get to all of them. I'll probably have to make this a two-part show. But anyway, you're listening to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, episode number 602, and we'll be right back.
You can't take me as I am, not just a little bit. I don't know who to be. I'm a paper cup, baby, of the sea. I know you see it too, 'cause you're too much for me.
This is Clark Kellogg. Stay tuned for more of Dr. Kvitko.
Estás escuchando con Dr. Kvitko aquí en su estación favorita.
Hi, I'm Dominique Reichert. Like what you hear? Why not use the show to promote your product or service by becoming a sponsor? Call 614-262-9588 to learn how. That's 614-262-9588. Call now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of the Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. I've been honored to help several famous people get a perfect smile, like Keith Carlos and Dominique Reigard from America's Next Top Model, and Ted the Golden Voice Williams from right here in Columbus. Isn't it time you had a celebrity smile? It costs less than you might think, and most of the time, it can be done in one visit. A new smile can make a world of difference.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
I'm Grandpa, and I go to Dr. Kvitko, and I still have all my teeth. Real ones. Where's my glasses?
Okay, if you're just joining us, I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is episode number 602 of The Reasons We Smile. We are bringing you sounds from the dental office in hopes that it will possibly maybe make you a little more relaxed when you hear some of these sounds, and it won't be for the first time, you know? Not to mention it's kind of a fun game to play. Okay, so the next sound, our sound number 11, is... That actually gave me goosebumps, and I'm not even in the dental chair. See, that one bothers me more than the high-speed handpiece. That's the slow-speed handpiece that I was bemoaning earlier. Because it just vibrates, and there's nothing... Now, I have to use it, because that's the way we are sure of getting all of the decay out. They're just things you can't do with the high-speed, don't have the tactile sense. And certainly you don't want to use the high speed for that last little bit of decay, because you could get too close to the nerve and wind up needing a root canal. So you just want to get the decay out and no more. And the way we do it is with that. Now that's also used for polishing a crown, polishing a filling after it's placed. And I do always apologize to people for what it's going to sound like in their head before I use it. Okay, the next sound we're calling sound number 12. Let's go with 12. Okay, so I actually almost told you what that was. I don't know if you were paying attention or not. But that's the suction pump. Now, the suction pump is probably next to the air supply, the air compressor. The suction pump may be the most important machine that we have in a dental office. And what I mean by that, I just noticed I had the microphone blocking my face for the Facebook. Anyway, what I mean by that is I couldn't get malpractice insurance unless I had a suction pump in my office, because it's a safety feature. It's not just there. You know, we use it to collect the water. If a person we do an impression and there's a piece of impression material that breaks off or something, and we have suction available, we can get it out. When we're extracting a tooth and there's bleeding, or we're doing gum surgery and there's bleeding, we need to be able to suction away that blood so that you don't drown in your own, saliva and blood. So I learned this about the malpractice insurance the hard way. I went to a gentleman's house to take care of him. He was pretty much bedridden, and he needed a new denture, and I thought, well, I have some portable equipment. I'll go to him, and everything was fine. It worked out great. We made him new dentures, and he loved it. But next year, when I was getting ready to fill out the form, or when I was filling out the form for my malpractice insurance, then one of the questions was, have you ever treated a patient outside of your office, for example, in their home? And I put yes. And they called me up and said, well, did you have a suction pump? And I said, no. I said I was doing a denture. I wasn't like doing a filling or anything. They said, well, what if a piece of impression material had broken free? I said, well, it didn't. They said, well, you won't be insured if you do that. And so although I thought it was kind of odd at the time, I do get it. And now in my portable dental equipment that I take in my motorhome sometimes when we're doing outreach and trying to provide free dentistry for people in need, I do have a suction pump. I actually have two. So, so we're cool now. But anyway, I'm looking at the clock and I'm realizing that we probably won't have time to do anything more today. We'll give you 13 through 22 in a future show. Maybe not next week, but maybe in a couple. We'll see. But I do appreciate you tuning in and listening, and continuing to tune in over 602 shows. But looks like that's all the time I have today. So until show 603. Be sure to don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Remember that it's at Dr. Kvitko. And if you'd please go to my office Facebook page and like us, that would be awesome. Remember that all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com. Be sure to tune in next week and every week right here on your favorite station. Goodbye.
This is Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the hit show on VH1, urging you to tune in next week with my dentist, Dr. Kvitko.
If you're interested in learning more about this and other dental health topics, go to thereasonswesmile.com to access full episodes of Dr. Kvitko's show.
If you'd like Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist, to speak at your next event, please call 614-262-9588. That's 614-262-9588.